Are we
Hey,
backstage?
great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, and it's a dreary, a dreary looking day. Uh, Todo estaba mojado this morning, and it looks like it rained a little bit last night. How you doing, Captain Bob?
I'm doing pretty good, even though it's kind of overcast, but I'm looking outside the windows of Captain Bob's right now. It looks like a little sun just trying to come in right now, but I don't know for how long. As I drove in from Rancho Viejo, the rain was falling a little bit as I entered Brownsville, but it's not raining. My
Well,
my friends my friends in Laredo said it's overcast over there. Little rain at Laredo right now.
yeah, Laredo sucks, but yeah, but yeah, I have been out of it. Actually, last night I got a text message from a friend, and they said it was actually during the show, and they said, "Well, we'll message you. We'll talk afterwards." And I literally passed out last night. I am still fighting this illness, this enfermedad that I have, and I think it's starting to dissipate. One of the things that and made mention is it was my and I think people knew it was my birthday weekend, and it was not the best birthday weekend I've ever had, and that's because I was not feeling well, and I did my best. You know how at times you do your best to try and show face, you know, not para no arruinar, to not ruin everybody else's day, and I did my darndest, and not to make everybody else around me as miserable as I was feeling. And I had my dentist come down. Abraham came down for the weekend, brought the kids, so I did my best, but I probably didn't do as good of a job as I could have. Last night I was feeling really, really cruddy, and all of a sudden, like this morning, I wake up and like everything is bursting out. I've started to get these fever b- sores uh, in the mouth, and I think that's what's happening is está saliendo la infección. So I'm probably on my last little day of feeling like crap, and I should be better these next couple of days. And I'm hoping so because I need to be in Cuernavaca this weekend. Have you ever been down to those neck of the woods?
I just traveled Cancun, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, Culiacan, Monterrey, Mexico City, and Guanajuato and San Miguel. I've been around Mexico and the pyramids over there in the Campeche area. But I mean, we're talking 10, 15, 20 years ago. I haven't gone to Mexico in 10 years. You're a brave man for going into Mexico, my friend. But
I love Mexico.
it seems that I love it too. I love it. It's a beautiful culture. The food's good. The land, everything. The people are cool. I mean, I miss Mexico,
I
but
love
I
Mexico.
do like it. One day I'll get back over there.
I have a trip to Mazatlan next month, and I'm really questioning uh, going because of what you mentioned, the dangerous situation that has occurred in Sinaloa because
Safety
of
concerns. Safety
huh?
concerns. I went to Mazatlan and they had military trucks with armed military people all over the place.
Yeah,
I pretty much just stayed in the hotel. It was by the beach, so I had a good view. But I mean, it's a scary area over there. And Erasmo, we care about you and your health. This trip to Cuernavaca, hey, if you're not feeling good, cancel. And I
yeah,
sent you a message on Erasmo Live last night with my personal advice. Take a nap in the
yeah.
afternoon like the Mexicans do, una siesta. I do a 2-hour nap I turn off the phone or I don't answer it, and I fall asleep for 2 or 3 hours. And as we get older, I think I'm older than you, but I need a nap, like a siesta in Mexico. They
Yeah.
do a siesta, and they keep working into the evening like you do. You have long hours. I know you do, and I've called you early in the morning,
Yeah.
and you go all day, and I know that you go into the evening and you're talking to people and everything. Your mind and your body needs a little 2 hour break, I think, in the mid afternoon.
Yeah, and you're right. And I try to do power naps throughout the day. Well, I'll just doze off. Fortunately, my office gives me that luxury, towards I can fall asleep. I don't work for someone, so it's not like I'm falling asleep at work. So, so it gives me that that freedom to crash out a little bit here and there. Uh, but with that said, I agreed, and I appreciate you sending that message last night. And I do take advice, and I am going to look into it. What we do is not easy, and a lot of times, you mentioned turning off your phone for that bit amount of time. Sometimes I find myself unable to separate from my phone. And more than anything, because there's always concerns. Individuals need help one way or another,
That's
and
true.
you've got to you- you've got to go out there.
Well,
Este,
I do leave my phone on, but the body needs to rest on the soft mattress and the good pillows.
yeah,
That's what I believe in. I went and bought new pillows and new sheets. I feel all happy in my bed, but I do answer the phone. You're right.
yeah. Um, Let me say, one of I was having this conversation with his friend last night, and I didn't have the opportunity uh, to respond, uh, and I fell asleep, and I didn't have the opportunity to respond, and I felt bad, so I sent a message early this morning, and let me say, one of the things that they asked was in regards to some of the stuff that we mentioned last night, and let me say, look, folks, one of the things that I will say, I appreciate anyone and everyone that's actually putting their name on the ballot and going to run for office. I think today we're going to have a sit down with Miss Stanton, who is running. I'm not sure, has she filed already or is planning to file?
She's got the paperwork. She's filed. She's halfway with the $500 from what she's telling me, and she's already got a ledger with campaign donations coming in. Just holding the money. She's filed the campaign treasurer already. She's around the corner, and she's looking forward to the show this evening with you at 8 o'clock on the Robert Sanchez Facebook CVS page, which is the Robert Sanchez page. Uh, and I've talked to her last night, and she's really looking forward to hanging out with you on that show, Erasmo. And I think, Erasmo, I thought about it last night about you and her and all the candidates. And, I like all the candidates. I respect them for their courage and stepping up, every single one of them. But at this time in the history of Brownsville, I believe that the incumbents need to retire and move on. I respect the mayor for not seeking reelection because he's unraveled in all kinds of conflict of interest. But these other individuals, like Cowan and Jessica Tetreault, I like them as human beings and fellow citizens. But I think they served their time, Mr. Castro, and I think we need fresh, new faces in there, like you or Jennifer or even Nagy's in there. I don't know who Jay is, but he's coming on the CBS show. He's scheduled for this Saturday to present himself on my show, and I'm respect him for his courage and coming forward. Jay Nagy, I don't know anything about him. I've studied his Facebook a little bit. It looks like he does cover some issues. It looks like a colorful candidate, the way he's putting his candidacy in there. And let's see what he has to say. But back to the incumbents. Yeah, no, I think that's enough, Erasmo. We got this PUV fiasco. They voted for rate increases. And I've asked everybody, as many people as I can, and I'm like you, we ask a lot of people, what have they done? Have you got an answer on what they've done?
Nothing. Well,
Yeah.
one of the things that you mentioned, and I agree 100%. You know, it is commendable that Mayor Trey Mendez, you know, was brave enough to say, you know what, that's it, I'm out, I'm done. And I think, and I want to believe, because I know Trey well, and again, I will always consider Trey. You know, I'll always be respectful to Trey and consider him a friend. I think Trey, you know, realized, you know, that the writing is on the wall. You know, they haven't produced for the city of Brownsville. They haven't done anything that benefited Brownsville in any way. We have gone nowhere, guys. We have gone nowhere in the 4 years, in these past 4 years that we've had our current mayor. We have gone nowhere in these past 4 years that John Cowan has served in the city commission. And look, one of the things that is very telling, guys, and I challenge anyone, go visit John Cowan's social media page, guys. If you go visit John Cowan's social media page where he puts up his announcement that he's running for city commissioner, for mayor of the city of Brownsville, guys, he has not communicated with the community since his previous election. Did you realize that, Captain Bob?
Uh, yeah, it's a shame. Uh, it's this is going to be an interesting election, Erasmo. I think, and they say, hey, the social media was there last elections, but it's this particular time. You know, I figured out a while ago with Roberto Uresti, who I saw at Whataburger. He's going to make his decision 2 days before the 17th, the 15th or the 16th, whether he's going for commissioner at large or place two. I did a quick calculation. The election is 2,200 hours away. 2,200 hours. Let's talk hours. If you know months, up to May 5th, I think is the election. You're at 2,300 hours till we choose a new mayor and the new commission. Now, I want to touch on something, social media king. You know, what you do here on social media is very good. You're talking to the people directly. And that's what Captain Bob's series is doing too. We talk the truth, we're honest. I'm not running for office, but I'm on the scene. Now, what's disturbing is these candidates, they start doing phone banking. They use an advertising company and pay them thousands of dollars, and somebody goes and gets about 5 cellular phones, sits in a room and starts calling people to vote for somebody. That's not, I don't agree with that. The candidate needs to call them, or the candidate needs to go block walking and talk, not somebody they don't know. So, viewers, if somebody calls you and it's not the candidate, either hang up or say, hey, I'm not talking to monkeys. Bye-bye, hang up. Talk to the candidate. Also, the mail-outs. The mail-out is also from the advertising companies. They clog up the mailing system. Now, some people might disagree with me, but all they're trying to do is garner the votes from the database. I disagree with that. This social media is more effective, like Erasmo's doing. It's money campaigning, what they're doing. And then they sit back at their home in their pompous lifestyle, they're Ivy Leaguers, and they don't block walk. And I was happy to see your show last night at Osmo. You touched on a lot of fine points. I didn't know your co-host, but she was pretty knowledgeable, and I was impressed with her. I think her name was Mary
Ashley.
Ashley, and she was pretty. I enjoyed listening to her. I thought she was a wonderful co-host last night, and I think you all touched on many nice things. Um, it's got to be face to face with the voters. If it's not a face to face, then they shouldn't get a vote. And you're face to face. Cowan's being dragged around functions by his uncle Ralph Cowan. Now, and that's all right. I like Ralph and I like him, but I think Cowan should move around by himself. He's right next to Ralph Cowan. I'm also, if you give me a second, you're okay.
Yeah.
Since Erasmo, I commented on Jessica Tetro's post last night where she's cheering on Chipotle and Bubba's 33, who have stated through the news media that they're coming to Brownsville. Bubba 33 evidently is a hamburger place, and we know what Chipotle is. Well, that's fine and dandy that they come in here. She's cheering them on, and she wants Checkers back and some other ones. I saw her Facebook post last night, and of course the community's in there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. What about this? What about that? And so I sent a comment to her last night. I said, look, that's fine and dandy, but you're forgetting about the Brownsville citizens that opened up local eateries, Amigas, Toddle Inn, Big Daddy's, Captain Bob's, Mi Pueblito. I'm surprised Commissioner Pedro Cardenas hasn't spoken up about what she's doing. It's not about these national chains coming in, because what the national chain does, like Chipotle and Bubba 33, is the net profits are sent up to corporate in another city. Most of the money disappears from Brownsville, from their gross sales. Also, those companies truck in their products from up north. When the Toddle Inns, the Captain Bob's, the Amigas, the Gio's Pizzeria, they're buying local, and the owners are here, so they're spending money on school for their children. They're eating at local restaurants. They're paying the bills. They're local people. Jessica has lost touch with that. And her answer to me was, I have a big plan for that. What? Boy, that's real political. I have a big plan for that. That's not the answer I want.
No.
Yeah, and they want Chipotles. Now, let's not forget, Applebee's was here. We all saw Applebee's. Twice. They opened twice. There you go, Erasmo, twice. And they shut down and lost, I would say, a couple $1 million each time. They built brand new buildings. It did not work. Now let's go to Albertsons supermarket. Albertsons. I used to like to go to Albertsons. They're not here anymore.
Dead.
So let's relax as an elected official to cheer on all these companies, because basically it's a slap in the face to Toddle Inn, to Gio's Pizzeria, to Captain Bob's, to Amiga's Cafe, and there's dozens and dozens, Trevino's Tortilla, all our local eateries that have unique flavor, unique Brownsville flavor, with Brownsville chefs and Brownsville servers and Brownsville owners. But she's cheering on all that. I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
No, you're right. And one of the things that I think that a lot of folk, and hopefully people aren't fooled by this. These national chains that are coming down to Brownsville, they're going to come down no matter who city commissioner, who's mayor. It doesn't much matter to them because at the end of the day, they don't respond to the individuals here locally because they're not local guys. So if we've got a Bubba's and we've got a Chipotle coming down, great for Brownsville because it gives Brownsville a little bit more choice. But at the end of the day, for a sitting city commissioner to want to take credit, like, well, they're coming, this is what we're doing. Well, no, you're screwing over our small business here locally. But unfortunately, Captain Bob, a lot of the individuals that are part of the small business community, they'll go out there and support a Jessica and a John and a Trey and a bunch of these other people, you know? And that's what's unfortunate because at the end of the day, small businesses is only shooting themselves in the foot because these folks have done nothing to better small business here locally. Nothing. And I challenge every single restaurant out there, every single restaurant owner that is a local owner or has come over from Matamoros. I challenge you to show me how your life is better as a small business owner now than it was 4 years ago or 12 years ago that Jessica's been on the commission. Show me. And Carlos Cascos makes an amazing point in response to the real answers are, where were you on Tenasca, on PUB? Where were you on all these things that actually hurt and affected the people of Brownsville? That's the questions that they should be answering. They won't answer. And I was mentioning John Cowan. John Cowan hasn't been on social media, hasn't been accessible to you in the past 4 years. In the past 4 years. What is going to guarantee that he's going to be accessible to you in the next 4 years if elected mayor? He's not, because John Cowan, Jessica Tetreault, they serve the corrupt political machine that exists here anyway. So I'm proud. Look, I'm proud that Jay Nagy is running. More power to him. That Jennifer Stanton is running. More power to y'all. You know, there's the rumor out there that Trevino, Arturo Trevino might be running for mayor too. The more the merrier, guys. More power to you guys. With that said, there is no better candidate. There's no one that's going to be more qualified, that is more knowledgeable about what truly hurts Brownsville than Erasmo Castro. Because, and not to be disrespectful, because we're going to have that conversation tonight with Miss Stanton and with Jay next week. Guys,
yeah,
no disrespect, or to Trevino, no disrespect to my other opponents. I deal with this crap every day. I deal, and Jay was making mention of the potholes, of the streets, of the lights, and great. But where have they all been these past 4, 8, 12 years? They haven't been around. They haven't been at your back. Guys, I've got 3 messages right now, 3 messages that I have to respond to after the show because an individual is having an issue with their student at school, because someone needs speed bumps at their area. I attend to this every day. So again, people of Brownsville are going to have a choice. You're going to choose someone that has been vocal, has fought for you, has fought for the community throughout all these years, or vote for individuals that have screwed us over already, or individuals that are that vapor that appears in the morning and then disappears in the evening. Because one of the issues that I have with a lot of the individuals that run and seek office is they run for office and then they disappear into obscurity. And that's one of the differences that Captain Bob knows about, because Captain Bob has run for office, guys. But he's still here. He's still out there being vocal for the community. You know, he's still present. Other individuals have run for office, and then you don't hear from them ever again. It's like this guy that's on that CRC committee, Jerry Martinez. I mean, the guy hasn't done a crap for the citizens of Brownsville. He ran for commissioner at large, ran for commissioner at large, and then now sits at the CRC because that's what they do. They want to play the game behind the curtain, and that CRC committee is going to do nothing significant in regards to producing answers in regards to how badly these folks screwed us. And we're not going to be able to remove these people. Not going to be able to remove these people from office. I got a comment in on my text. Trey, commendable, valiant, shut up. Coward is more like it. He's very aware of his actions during his tenure and knows it's just a matter of time. No vale V. Sorry. Okay, he's your friend. Fuera perro Trey Mendes. No more rateros that fill their pockets with the people's money. Yes, look, guys, I agree. And again, I'm very, very hurt that Trey lined his pockets with the money that should have gone to the people of Brownsville. And again, we'll always call him a friend. I was the one that brought this to light. Erasmo Castro was the one that brought this to light in regards to the $200,000 that they tried to pocket with the money that they wanted to restore the Coca-Cola building with downtown. I brought it to light, despite the fact that I consider him a friend. Because to me, folks, if you're screwing with the city of Brownsville, with the people of Brownsville, you better believe that I'm going to be vocal. Better believe that I'm going to call you out. I don't care if I'm sleeping with you, and I'm not sleeping with Captain Bob yet. I don't care if you're my buddy. I don't care if you're my lunch mate. I don't care. Sorry, good morning. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling so. Pero ese Trey pisses me off. Captain Bob is also a good guest. Hey, thank you. Guys, at the end of the day, we need something different. Let's see. No por nada, that Pelon makes a good point. You see?
Thank you. Now, you know what, Erasmo?
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to you, Stanton, Arturo Trevino, Jay Nagy. It looks like we can converse with him about issues, but I'm going back to something Arturo Trevino told me, which was interesting. There's a bunch of dots. Connect the dots. And the line leads to special interest. Let me tell you something. I'm a St. Joseph Academy alumni, class of 1984. Cowan's a St. Joe alumni. Nurit Galonsky's a St. Joe alumni. There's many St. Joe alumni that are in elected office. Now they're trying to make the whole slate St. Joseph Academy. We need diversity in the city of Brownsville on that commission chamber. Let me tell you something. There's a newcomer that all of a sudden his name popped up. Tino Viriol, the athletic director of St. Joseph Academy. I am appalled, along with other St. Joe alumni, for I sit with St. Joe alumni at Captain Bob's, and you're invited too, Erasmo, to sit with us at the Captain's Round Table. At the Captain's Round Table at Captain Bob's, and the alumni are concerned, disappointed, and extremely upset because Tino Viriol on his Facebook is attempting his announcement for candidacy to commissioner at large, and he comes out with the St. Joseph Academy logo and the Maris Brother logo behind him. So the St. Joe alumni are upset. Is he going to have access to the database of the St. Joseph Academy to seek campaign funds and signatures? This is getting out of hand. We have brought it to the attention. And once again, Captain Bob, Robert Sanchez, was the chosen one from the St. Joseph Academy Alumni Roundtable to step forward and call Michael Motel. Who's Michael Motel? Michael Motel is the president of St. Joseph Academy. Michael Motel was very cordial and nice to me and remembers me as a St. Joe alumni. He said he's met me a few times, and that was very nice. I brought to his attention, is the athletic director going to be a full-time athletic director for the children, or is he going to be a full-time commissioner? You all need to figure it out because he's using the St. Joe logo and the Maris brothers for his campaign. That's how us St. Joe alumni look at it. Heck, why don't I put on CVS the St. Joseph logo and the Marist Brother logo on the screen? Maybe that'll help me. Why is he using it? Who gave him authority to use that for his campaign? And he's one of the dots. And so is Cowan. It's Cowan's friends from his class. Cesar de Leon was a classmate too of theirs. Now, individuals are coming in. Cesar de Leon's one of the dots. Cowan's one of the dots. Tino Villarreal's one of the dots. Sampaio's one of the dots. And there's more dots. It all leads to special interest with an ape at the end. Now, this is wrong. And the voters need to understand those individuals are not right for the position. It's too much. They call it compadrismo.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Too much.
And it leads to backroom dealings, privileged information, and illegal profit making.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it, and I'm a St. Joe alumni. They're not gonna like me. Maybe they never liked me. I don't care. And I'm Captain Bob. I was happy eating seafood and going home. But this has upset me with the PUV and all that nonsense. Now I come forward. The podcast of Captain Bob series, it was born by the people, for the people. I just happen to be the anchor man. I am very disappointed. And then the people, for the people, bring Erasmo Castro and Captain Bob's together. Even though we're friends and we like each other for 10 years, now our podcasts are a partner, but it's a clean partnership. I don't want $1. I don't want no bribe. I don't want no donation. I don't need money. I got a little money. Erasmo doesn't take money. I've never heard of Erasmo taking money. Some of these other blogsters, they take money. They take money. We got a run, always looking for money. The first thing he does, que pasó, fill up my pocket. Then we go back to Mikhail, another one. He's a little more quiet, but they funnel that money over there because I hear his rhetoric, but his site's a mess. That's a mess. That's not to be believed. It's all made up nonsense.
Yeah. The city has so many challenges. We should get back to basics. Entrepreneurial investments will take care of itself. Round up loose dogs. Landscaping and force our ordinances, clean up the city. 100%. Stop smoke. Lonnie says, stop smoking on the show.
Oh, okay.
No,
it helps me stop smoking and to never relapse with alcohol. I'm sorry, Lonnie. I'll try my best.
Let me say one of the things, and I did see Tino Villarreal's announcement for city commissioner at large. And I did notice that, he might be using the St. Joe logo a little bit too much on his page. And that happens, Tino. And I am going to have a conversation with Tino Villarreal, I think, next week. We're all going to have a sit down and have a conversation, which is what you do. But let me say, that happens when you're not getting the advice from the right individuals. And I make mention of that because something that Captain Bob said, and I'll gladly visit with the St. Joe alumni, Captain Bob, when you bring us together. Something that Captain Bob made mention is very true. It happens, Tino, when you start listening to the Sampaios, the Cowans that are your buddies, they are your friends, they're in the same little clique, because they think they can do whatever the hell they want to do without any consequences. You cannot start a campaign for commissioner at large, Tino Villarreal. You cannot start a campaign for commissioner at large with the mentality that the rules do not apply to you. You have to be humble, suffice, to separate yourself from that which you think might be giving you advantage. And look, with that said, I understand you're going to get a lot of support from the St. Joe Mafia. You're going to. You don't have to go out there and shove it in everyone's face. Second of all, and again, something Captain Bob made mention in regards to the finances. Uh, I appreciate the fact that you're going to be gathering signatures. You'll probably get them faster than I did, which is great. It's great that you're going to get the signatures, and I appreciate that. And I would wish that every candidate go get signatures. As of right now, I'm the only mayoral candidate that has submitted signatures. As of right now, the only one, guys, because I care to hear from you. I want your support. I think Susan Rubalcaba is getting signatures. Tino Villarreal is getting signatures. That's great. Going out there and asking for donations right now, it's your choice. It just looks bad. Break down with the cash. I'm ready to run. It just looks bad. And let me say, guys, I do not plan to spend more than $3,000 on this campaign. I'm going to limit myself in the amount of money that I'm going to spend in this campaign. And right now, I'm looking at $3,000 cap, Captain Bob. $3,000 cap. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's not the money that should win you a campaign. Because I will not be beholden to individuals that pour in $500, $200, $1,000 into my pocket. Because what happens, guys, is that we're going to have the same thing that we've had in the past, going to have it again. We're going to have a Nerith Golansky that spent $200-some thousand in a campaign that made herself and her daddy and everybody else all the richer. A Trey Mendez that spent $250,000 on a campaign that pays for a position that pays nothing. But do you think he didn't make back $250,000? You better believe it. John Cowan spent another $200,000, guys. How is your life better? His life got better. He got more property out there. He's got wheelings and dealings with the Brownsville Housing Authority, folks. His life is better. Yours isn't. So, Tino, I know Tino. I like Tino. I have nothing against Tino. You started off a little bit on the wrong foot, and all that could have been avoided if we would have had conversations, and you would have been a little bit more in tune to the people of Brownsville, because Sampaio, Pedro Cárdenas, all these folks out there, Arturo Trevino, all these folks might be telling you, just cater to the St. Joe Mafia and everything's going to be okay. You are running. If you're running, you're running for a position to represent every single individual in the city of Brownsville, Tino. Every single one, not just the St. Joe Mafia. They may want to push you to get elected. But if you're going to be a commissioner that solely benefits and helps the St. Joe crowd, it's just a wasted seat. Like we've had with John Cowan, like we had with Jessica Tetreault, like we've had right now with District 4. They're just wasted seats. We need someone that's a little bit more vocal, Captain Bob.
I agree with you. Now, my Captain Bob's Roundtable Friday luncheon, let me correct what I said earlier. It's not 100% St. Joe alumni. It's probably about 60% St. Joe alumni. There's Pace alumni, Hannah alumni, Porter alumni, people that sit at that table. But the St. Joe people and also the other alumni from the surrounding schools are very disgusted with Villarreal's movement with the St. Joseph Academy logo and the Maris Brother logo. They didn't only do the St. Joseph Academy, he included the Maris Brothers. Now, Mr. Michael Motel from St. Joe was going to call him into the office, and I trust that they can repair it. And here it goes again, Erasmo. And you know what I did last week too? One of the major monkeys running around town on behalf of the ape was doing all kinds of espionage work, campaigning and blocking, and he's a Cowan supporter. I got down to the bottom of this. He's been silenced. That individual can't come on podcast anymore, can't do radio shows. He's banned because of his boss. And I had to get involved because they're interfering with democracy in Brownsville, Texas. And this St. Joe Tino Villarreal, I like him too. Let's remember, I'm a St. Joe guy. He's St. Joe. And all of a sudden, his daddy decides to compete with Captain Bob's seafood restaurants and builds one Tino Seafood, two Tino Seafood, Tino Seafood. He had 5 in Brownsville. And that St. Joe Mafia, who for some reason, they like me, but some of them don't, especially from that age group of that Tino and that Sampaio and that Cowan. Shame on them. For Tino Seafood, 5 restaurants. Boom. It didn't last 3 or 4 years. It's gone. Never to be heard of again. Get franchises y que San Antonio, Fredericksburg Street and San Antonio rolling. Bless their hearts. They gave it a good run. It didn't work. Captain Bob's is still here. I'm a St. Joe graduate. I'm proud of the Maris brothers. I'm proud of St. Joseph Academy. How dare somebody from that intricate dot matrix that leads to special interest get involved and vacuum St. Joseph Academy and the Maris brothers into this city chamber race. I don't like it. And I had to be the courageous man like an Erasmo Castro and a Captain Bob that stepped forward and called St. Joe. Now my name's going to roll around there at St. Joe for a while, that I was a whistleblower to his happy campaign, that Cowan and them were trying to get an extra puppet on the commission for their votes. I had to do something. I had to stop this. It's ethically wrong to use the St. Joseph Academy logo and the Maris brothers for a race. What about the rest of the people in town? This is 200,000 plus residents of Brownsville. They just have their little community, and I don't like it.
I don't like it either. But yeah, so I'm going to have a conversation with Tino Villarreal, I think, next week. And again, look, guys, we Erasmo Castro, and again, and I like Susan Rubalcaba, who's also running for at large A. If Susan Rubalcaba decides to step across the boundary line that we have as elected officials, you better believe we're going to call her out. And I expect individuals to call me out if they know that I'm stepping over the bounds that you know I'm allowed to go over. With that said, guys, anyone that's planning to run for office for the city of Brownsville needs to understand you are accountable to the entire city of Brownsville, to every single resident here, not just a selected few, a selected group, to everyone. And I'm hoping that that everyone out there runs a legitimate, a fair, a fact-based race. And we'll be calling individuals out regularly. We'll be inviting individuals on regularly. And again, an open invitation to Tino Villarreal, an open invitation to Susan Rubalcaba. And again, she already knows, she always has an invitation to Jay Nagy, to Stanton, and to Jessica Tetreault and John Cowan. Guys, if you're running for office, you're welcome on this platform. I am the king of all local social media. Just a fact. You're welcome on my platform, and let's have open discussion and debate, respectful discussion and debate in regards to the yearns, the concerns, the wants, the needs of our community as a whole, not just a selected few.
You know, Erasmo, it's you mirror my thought. All of them are welcome, and that's nice of you to invite them. And they're also welcome to my show at the Captain Bob series. Now, I will question any of them that don't come on my show. Now, some of them are coming in. I already got a list. Mrs. Macias is coming in. Jay Nagy's coming in. Sheriff candidate Ronnie Sines is coming in. Arturo Trevino's coming in. I got the dates on this piece of paper. They've been texting and calling. They're coming in for a sit down with a captain. I like what Jay Nagy says. He says, a fireside chat. I thought that was cute. And that'll be good. But the incumbents, I haven't invited Tetro. I've called her. She doesn't answer. I ran into Cowan at the Taste of the Fronteras. I said, hey, you know about my show? Yeah, I know about it. And I said, well, you want to come on? Talk a little bit? I'll think about it. What kind of answer is that? You'll think about it. You say yes.
Hell yeah.
And you know what, Mr. Cowan and Commissioner Jessica Tetro, you're welcome. I'm not going to be rough. I just want to give you my platform so you can introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you've done. Now, if you don't come forward and join these two platforms, either Erasmo's or mine, then you don't want to, you're not there for the people, by the people. You come to social media at one of these two platforms. I'm not talking about paying Montoya to do a little advertisement on the sidebar of his side on El Run Run. That's not going to get you off the hook. And it's not about paying Mr. McHale to bash me and bash your opponents. That's not fair. That's not the right way to do things. And God's watching you. We invite you to these two platforms. Erasmo invites them to yours, and I invite you to mine. Now, anybody that doesn't come, I'm going to have to dissect them, their campaign, and I'm not going to wait long. I'm going to put a time frame for you candidates for there's only 2,300 hours left till the election. 2,300 hours. I'm going to give you guys about a month, maybe a month and a half to come forward, and that's too long. For Stanton, for Castro, have already come forward to my show. Here comes Jay Nagy. Here comes the other candidates. They're starting to pile in. And I'm very proud and happy for those people because they want to come. Now that shows courage. They need to come forward. And I invite especially the incumbents because they got a lot of explaining to do. And they need to talk. And I would like them on my show. And it looks like Erasmo wants them on his show, right, Erasmo?
Oh yeah. And let me say, and my apologies to a couple of candidates I did not mention. Linda Macias is running for District 2. She picked up the platform. I don't know if she's got votes. And again, Linda is always welcome on the show. Always welcome. I know that we were having a discussion in regards to was she in the Cowan slate? Was she not in the Cowan slate? I think Linda Macias made mention to Captain Bob that she was definitely not in the slate. Again, that's something that we can discuss openly because as the information that I have right now is that Linda Macias is part of that little group, that little slate. And again, one of the things that I've always said, I will retract when proven incorrectly. And look, one of the things that we do not want some of the same old crap back over and over again. It's the only concern, Linda. We just want something different. We just want something true. We just want something that's transparent. So, open invitation to Linda Macias. She knows she has an open invitation to come on at any time. Open invitation to William Garza, who's also running for commissioner at large. And again, I did not mean to disqualify them. Just they slipped my mind. So, anyone and everyone out there, please, please come on. A shrimp plate is most definitely included. Guys,
You
my
brought up
hour.
a good point. You brought a good point. The shrimp plate is included for the visitor to come. I don't need any money. Don't give me money. I'm just going to be fair and honest. But I'd like you all to taste the shrimp and fish here.
Good stuff.
And the Veterans Bar down the street, they get free electricity. I can understand you need to help the veterans, but I used to get so disappointed at Erasmo because they'd have fish fries down the street. How can I compete with the veterans having fish fries when they got free electricity? And I, challenged Jessica Tetreault to give us some meat in the comment she made last night that she has big plans for the local restaurant Brownsville owners. She told me she has big plans. Where's the plans that I don't know?
Where have those big plans been the past 12 years?
But now there's big plans, but it's too vague. What plans? What are they going to give us 50% off of the electricity to the restaurants? What is the big plans? Because that's big. I don't see a big plan anywhere. Let's quit pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. That's what these incumbents have done. And I love them. I want them to come on my show and tell me, Mr. Bob, Captain Bob, I'm not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. Okay, then I can say I'm sorry. Explain to me what's going on. I didn't want to do this. I'm doing it for the people, for the community. For I have 6 children that live in this community. I need to do my part to try and make this place better. It's not fair what's going on. The cost of living skyrocketed. Oh, by the way, my kale salad at HEB is now $2.69 from $1.65. I just it's just too much expense, too much suffering, too much fear whether your business will still be open next year as they cheer on national chain restaurants to come on into town to compete with us. We've been here forever. We've spent millions and millions of dollars in Brownsville. This is a serious situation. We Brownsville businessmen already got the onslaught from the Mexicans coming in here and opening up ceviche places, taquerias, left and right. We already got an onslaught from the Stripes with Laredo tacos, all the tacos all over the place. Oh, yeah, it's getting difficult. Now they're cheering on for national chains to come down here. Okay, it's fine, but let's not forget about Applebee's and Albertsons and Long John Silver's. Long John Silver's didn't make it. My goodness. Who's next?
I love Long John Silver's.
Who's next? I mean, it's too much. And nobody concentrates from the commission or the mayor to pat us on the back for trying. The Chamber of Commerce, I don't see them helping us. But when we opened up restaurants, they were on the doorstep with the Bienvenidos Committee. Bienvenidos Committee. Oh, okay. Do I need to do that? Okay, I didn't know. So they come in, about 10 or 12 of them, to the Bienvenidos Committee, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody from the Bienvenidos Committee, but you come in, they take pictures, they give me a Chamber of Commerce plaque. I have to dish out $200 or $300 to start a membership, and then they never come back to the restaurant. They just went to the Bienvenidos function where I have to provide seafood buffet. Turns out to be their point. I don't get it.
I want some seafood
buffet.
Yeah, candidates should prove their worth by making efforts to improve our city without the title. Then you will know their true intentions. 100%. She has a plan, and Elvis is alive. Yeah, exactly. The city is sinking more now than years past. We still have the compadre system full effect. Look at downtown and who opens the restaurants and bars. 100%. Guys, our hour is up, and I've actually got calls that I need to take care of. Uh, Thanks, Captain Bob, for being on this morning.
Thank you. I'll see you
Uh,
tonight, Erasmo.
See you tonight. Uh, I'll see you tonight at. Well, I'll try to be there a little bit before. I have to go to Matamoros at 6 o'clock, but I should be back before 8 o'clock, and I'll go straight to Captain Bob's. Guys, have a great day. Becoming part of the electoral process uh, is needed and is desperately something that we all have to commit to becoming a part of. There's going to be great candidates out there, guys. There's going to be choices to be made. Make sure that the individuals, guys, make sure that the individuals that you are considering are not connected to the corrupt political machine. Make sure that they can stand on their own too, without needing or depending on any other group out there to help them to push them across the line. Guys, this is your city. Uh, PUB belongs to you. The city belongs to you. Take it back. Guys, see you tonight at 8 p.m. on Captain Bob's show, and I'll be back at 9 p.m. tonight. Guys, be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.